Hey there, Kate LaDon here, the host of this here Build a Brand weekly show, personal branding expert, and founder of Brandwise Media. On this week's episode, we're covering one of the most frequently asked questions I receive when it comes to building, scaling, and monetizing your personal brand online, which is what tools and resources do I need to get started? The key here? Well, only a few. And many of you think you need deep pockets or really sophisticated technology to do this. You do not. You just need four key things to start building that brand foundation. So, we're going to dive into what those four critical things are and what things you should avoid. What are just money sucks that don't actually, create a return for your brand. You can offset them until later on. So without further ado, let's dive right in. The only thing you really need to start building a personal brand is this, a way to connect to your audience, and focused consistency. Building a personal brand isn't dumping a ton of attention into something and then hoping for a viral hit. It's an act of doing something day in and day out. In fact, one of my favorite quotes is the rarest of all human characteristics is consistency because it's true. We're often really excited to start something and we don't stay with it. But if you look at the largest creators in the world and folks who have really monetized and grown their personal brand, it's an act of love and TLC every day. So, one of my favorite tools to use is Palmo Focus. Many of you have likely heard of the Pomodoro method. This is the concept where you're head down working, very focused for 25 minutes, and then you take a short break. So, what I do when I'm creating content is I go to Pomo Focus, I set up a little Pomodoro block for what I want to do. You can see today I have film video about personal brand investments, and I let that run. Why? Because if I start doing the filming or the creating, I'll find myself on social media scrolling through. But when I have this set, I know I'm in it to win it for a really intentional goal, and I'm going to stay in the standpoint of creator versus consumer. A lot of people go on social media to start building their brand and creating content, and then all of a sudden, an hour later, after watching a ton of TikTok videos, haven't even filmed one. So give yourself the structure that's going to keep you consistent. Just 25 minutes, head down every day and building that brand and pushing content out. You need to schedule it in your calendar. For me, that is, Monday at 10 a.m. Every day around that time, I find that I'm in my best energetic state and I'm creating content for my brand. So definitely use that, the Pomodoro method. Set your timer. Once you're done, you'll take a short break. The cool thing is, after you do about 25 minutes, and then 5-minute breaks, it'll give you a long break. This is a really great way to just tackle work in general and keep yourself focused. So that is my first thing that I would invest in. Give yourself the investment of consistency and focused work. Remember, you're a creator now. You're not a consumer. Number two, get yourself some kind of offer and e-commerce platform. Now, I know a lot of you may be thinking, what the heck? I just want to start building up my personal brand. I don't want to sell anything. But I'm here to tell you, if the end game isn't conversion of some sort, you're not giving yourself the proper end post or goal to get to. I love having an offer because it keeps me honest why I'm creating content. And ultimately, that is you want a return on your investment in time. So when you have an offer up, you can see if your content resonates in a way that actually moves people to take an action. And an offer is a great incentive or action for them to take. So let's bring this down in an example. Maybe you just want to start getting yourself out there as someone who's a cooking enthusiast. You're a chef or you're something of the kind, and you're creating all of these really short form, awesome cooking videos on TikTok. After a while, you want to see if that's resonating. And the biggest way to see if it's going to resonate, if you can really scale it, is to put an offer in front of someone and to get them to buy it. So just test out a small offer. Maybe it's something like, 10 easy recipes that you can make for your family in under 30 minutes or less. And it's a little cookbook or a mini course of all of those videos packaged up nicely. Then you can put it on a system like Gumroad. So I love Gumroad. It's a website, it's an e commerce website that allows you to put things forward for a little bit of money and then test and see what sticks. So you can put ebooks out there, you can put mini video courses, music, fitness and health, photography, but you don't need to have this big fancy e-commerce system to do it. You can sign up and start selling in about 10 minutes. Now, reminder, why am I saying to invest in something like this? Because ultimately, if you're creating a personal brand, you want to scale it and you should be profiting from the value you're giving away. You need to start testing some offers, something that takes somebody from one point to another to make sure that your content is resonating and getting people to actually convert. Gumroad is a fantastic, easy, simple investment of time to get that up and going and allows you to start experimenting with those offers. Okay, so number 3 is you'll want a personal brand website. Now, I know a lot of you that follow me say, Kate, you tell me with social media and something like Gumroad, I can get going. I can start creating content consistently and then leading my audience members to conversion. Yes, and ultimately, you'll always want to have an archive that you own outright for your best content. When you leave it on channels and social media platforms, you're always subject to their business decisions and you're always a little bit removed from your clients and audience members. The other thing that having a website allows you to do is have a place where people can subscribe to an email list. And mark my words, even if you have 300,000 followers on Instagram, you're going to want them to join your email list. In my experience, time and time again, the most profitable way to launch anything is to send it out to your email list. These are people who are excited and ready to hear from you, but you need a place to send them. So, just to go through the steps again, you're going to want to invest time, create content on a platform where your audience is every day, throw up and test an offer with something simple like an e-commerce site like Gumroad, but then ultimately create a container where you can put your best content, archive that in a place where you own outright and it's not attached to a certain platform that's out of your control. The thing I love about Squarespace only costs about 10 to 12 bucks a month depending on what assets you want to use from it, and it has built-in features like membership portals, blogs, you can do email marketing right from there. You have e-commerce stores. And you don't have to be any kind of design genius to use it. It's very what you see is what you get. Very, very easy to put together. So let's review the steps again. You want to invest time, build that following on a platform, create really valuable content, start to test out some offers to see if people are getting value from your content and willing to part with some dollars so that they can really invest and you can prove to yourself that you can monetize your personal brand. And then you want to create basically your online and digital storefront by having, even if it's a simple one-page website, a place where people can subscribe to your email list. Now, while we're on the topic of websites, don't forget that another thing you should invest in is building and owning your own domain name. So you better believe I own kateladon.com and any variation of that. Always make sure that you're purchasing your name. It'll help with SEO and you'll want it for the future as your brand scale. Last and certainly not least, for the 4 first investments I would make in a personal brand is getting some really great headshots and a welcome video of yourself. So for headshots, I love smartshoot.com. You can basically put out a request for proposal for a photographer. You'll want some key lifestyle shots if you're a personal brand. You'll want some really clean headshots and then shots of you in action. This allows you a great multimedia to write quotes around, to use in Canva to create assets for your personal brand. You'll want about 4 to 5 really great, strong, clean headshots of yourself. And don't be afraid to use your personality in them. Be authentic, dress how you dress, like show your personality on film. But ultimately, when you start to grow and scale your personal brand and you want things like putting a speaker sheet together, cleaning up that professional website, you will absolutely want about 4 to 5 key, strong personal brand shots of yourself. You don't have to spend an arm and a leg or thousands of dollars setting up a fancy photo shoot. Again, you can head into SmartShoot, log in, find photographers and videographers in your area and capture it. So that is the 4th thing I would say, is to just get a really great treasure chest of awesome shots of yourself that you can use across social media and on your personal brand website. It's a great resource, smartshoot.com. Easy place to find someone great to capture those for you.